Hey, y'all. Welcome to the Life After Her podcast with yours truly, Nicole and Sweeney. Today, we are on episode 31 entitled Journey and Izzy. In today's episode, Journey comes to a realization about the mental state that she's in. She finally received a job and she doesn't have any clothes that fit her. So her and Izzy are having this conversation about what she's going to wear to her upcoming interview. In this conversation, Izzy brings to Journey's attention that she can no longer fit her clothes. And unfortunately, Journey went down at least 4 sizes smaller. She didn't really pay attention to the mental space she was in or even wonder why she continued to wear the same size clothes that no longer fit her. And oftentimes, we are in spaces in our lives where we're not paying attention to our mental state. And in Journey's case, she just knew that she could fit these clothes, but they were baggy on her. They would fall off of her. They wouldn't fit her properly. But yet and still, she would wear these same clothes. I honestly think it was hard for her to accept this new body that she was in. In certain seasons in our lives, it can be hard for us to understand or even identify the current mental space that we're in. And today, I want to share with you 3 ways for you to identify your current mental state. If you're unable to identify your current mental state, I feel like you will not be able to move forward. You will not be able to heal, and you will not be able to properly assess the space that you're in life and become a better version of yourself. And I want to give you 3 ways on how you can identify the current state that you're in. The first way to identify the current state that you're in is to pay attention to your triggers. I know trigger is like the bad word to mental and emotional well being, but I want to challenge the way you look at triggers. Triggers are an indicator of where you are emotionally and mentally. So from now on, I don't want you to see triggers as a bad word. Yes, it doesn't feel good. Yes, it doesn't make us look okay or healed or in a place where we are showing our best selves. But I want to challenge you to think of it as a way to be a marker or an indicator or a street sign of the emotion that you are feeling. So, the next time you have a trigger, I want you to ask yourself these 2 questions. The first question is, what am I feeling? Am I feeling sadness? Am I feeling anxiety? Am I feeling excitement? Am I feeling depression? Am I feeling anger? Whatever feeling you're having, really tune into that feeling and name that feeling. The second question I want you to ask yourself is, why am I feeling this way? That emotion that we just talked about, we have to go a level deeper. Why are we feeling that feeling? What happened? What was the scenario that made us feel that way? And then figuring out why we are feeling this way. In the example of Journey, she was wearing clothing that was 4 times her size. She was feeling that way and continued to wear the same clothing because she, in her mind, felt like the size that she once was connected to her loved ones that passed away. So she didn't really want to accept the fact that she lost a loved one and she lost weight. So she couldn't make the connection mentally that she was in this new body, experiencing this new life without her loved ones. And so Whatever that scenario or experience is for you, I want you to ask yourself, what are you feeling and why are you feeling it? Maybe you felt rejected because your parent didn't acknowledge you or your parent didn't show up for you. Maybe you're feeling sad because you always would be let down as a young kid. Maybe you are feeling anger because every time you try to speak up for yourself, people would try to mute your voice. You may feel disappointed that no one showed up for you or came to your defense when you felt like everyone was against you. So, whatever that feeling was and why you felt it, really be honest with yourself and figure out what that is. Again, trigger is not a bad word. It is an indicator on how you feel so that you can understand why you feel that way so that you can begin your healing process. The second way to identify the mental state that you're in is to listen to those that are in your circle that may observe something about you or tell you something about your emotional state. Let me specify who this person should be. This person should be a trusted individual. This is a person who you have come to for advice or someone that you love dearly, someone that has shown up in your life in a positive way and want what's best for you. Those are the individuals who you should listen to when it comes to observing your current mental state, or if they tell you, hey, I think you've been a little distant. Is everything okay? Those type of individuals you should listen to and take into consideration what they are saying. Just like Izzy told Journey that the size of her clothes was too big for her and that she needed to find a suit that was true to her size for the interview. And because of that moment, Journey was able to listen to what she said and she took her advice. And sometimes we need an objective standpoint when it comes to our emotional being. The great thing about that is that Izzy not only shared what she was observing with Journey, but she ended up buying Journey her first professional suit for her upcoming interview. So lean on those who know you best and who want what's best for you to tell you what is going on. And the last and final way to identify the mental state you are in is to pay attention to your dreams. God can communicate to us in so many different ways. And oftentimes, He will communicate to us through our dreams. If you're anything like me, you are a dreamer. And if you are having dreams, pay attention to what God is telling you in your dreams. Not only pay attention, but God has a way of showing you your heart and your mental state so that you can heal from it. Let me give you guys an example of a dream that I had some years ago about my current heart and mind posture. It really showed the mental state I was in. So, in this dream, I was in the store. I had my list of things that I needed to do. I was going down the aisle, grabbing things to get for what I needed to do in my dream. And another relative came into my dream and started asking me to do things for them, to help with this, to give money for that, to stop what I was doing to help them out. And guess what? In my dream, I had some balloons in my hand. I had a bag. I was at the register about to pay for my items. I immediately left what I was doing to help someone else. So God had to show me my mental state that I was in was not a healthy one. It was one that lacked boundaries, that put other people's needs before mine, that showed that I would allow other people to interrupt what I had going on. even though I knew what I had to get done, it showed me that I was putting other people above me. And yes, God tells us to love your neighbor as yourself and to treat others as you want to be treated. However, that dream showed me that I was lacking boundaries. And at first, I could not understand for the life of me what this dream meant. So I ended up reaching out to a mentor to help me interpret this dream. And as he was sharing what the dream could possibly mean, it really hit my spirit. It felt like that meaning of the dream was what I needed to hear and what I needed to learn. And thank God I'm in a better place with upholding and maintaining my boundaries. Because before, I would just let anyone come into my life and disrupt my plans and my goals and what God was telling me just to please them. And so, God will give you dreams about your current mental state. Don't ignore those dreams. Listen to what God is telling you. And today's affirmation is, sis, wipe your tears and keep going. There is more. All right, y'all. Thank you for tuning in. I look forward to you tuning in next week. And remember that God is proud of you.